Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Have a great show lined up, so we'll get started with our weather. Brought to us by Haney Technical Center right there on Highway 77. Principal Mike Heppenstall and the whole staff there, just good folks, and they care about the students, and I promise you they'll help you all they can to get going in your new career or whatever. No matter what age you are, you can go there and take welding, boating, safety, nursing, and just all kind of things out there. I know a lot of the teachers, and they're very conscientious, so I would recommend Haney Technical Center. It's still cool this morning. It's 59 degrees in Panama City, 61 in Mariana, 61 in Apalachicola, and way over on our western end is 64 over Sandestin. Now we do have, looking at a weekend forecast, it's changed back in the middle of the week. We're saying it's going to be just a perfect weekend. Now the meteorologists are predicting a little bit of rain. Now it's not from that low pressure area down in the southern Gulf. That's going on toward Mexico. But what has happened, that front that came through, and that cold front that we're experiencing now is stalled, as most of the time they will stall, and most of the time they just dissipate. But then sometimes they will stall and stay together and back up, and that's what's going on with this one. So this is going to back up a little bit, mainly going to affect our eastern viewing area, and they might get a little bit of rain, about 30% of chance of rain maybe on Sunday. So but Saturday is looking really good, and for most of the area we're going to be in really good shape. High today will only get to 85 degrees. Low tonight will be back down in the 60s at 68, and water temperature, I've got two readings, one at 85 and one at 84, so it's cooled off a little bit, and again that's because of all the waves we've had and mixed up a lot of cool water with all this. The boating forecast is good today. We're looking at seas 1 to 3 and just smooth on protected waters. The river readings, the Apalachicola, Bluntstown, taking a look at this. We were thinking this was going to change a lot with this rain that went through here, but obviously we were wrong. It's reading a 0.5. and it will be there all weekend. The Choctaw Caraville, of course, it did change, and it is right now up to 2.5. It's already dropping out, and it's going to be dropping on out through the weekend and getting back down around 1 foot by Monday or Tuesday. Now, the big thing on the rivers, the Choctawhatchee, we talked about it before, it's not dam control, so it has an immediate effect on Apalachicola with all the dam system all the way up, all the way through up to Atlanta. It's so controlled, a lot of times the rains don't have that much of an effect on it. This is a perfect case of that. Okay, look at our Carl Vernon Marine Services tide chart. We're looking at this weekend tide, we're looking at September 9th, and we're looking at a high tide this morning at 6:08 and a low tide at 5:44 this afternoon. I was out there yesterday afternoon at low tide. We had a really strong tide. We've got a strong tide tomorrow. Then next week we're looking at the neap tides, but next weekend now it's still strong tide. So that's 17th now. Make sure you mark that on your calendar for opening of grouper season. This is brought to us by Carl Vernon, who's a good outdoorsman in his own right. Every Friday morning, I like to talk about Sea Quarters Marine. They're one of our big sponsors, and just got off the phone with Millard Collins. Millard runs Sea Quarters, and he's just been to a tackle show, O'Henry's tackle show down in Orlando. And that's the thing about Millard. He stays on top of everything. Millard's got a lot of contacts on the East Coast. And, if you think we regulated here on the Gulf Coast, those guys on the East Coast, they have been able to catch some fish in like 3 years now. So they're hurting as far as, being able to catch a lot of fish. But Sea Quarters Marina said he's looking forward for a lot of folks coming down next Saturday, the opening of grouper season. So that's going to be I promise you, there'll be some big grouper brought in that spot next Saturday afternoon. Okay? We'll take our first break and be right back.
Flag with Professional Fiberglass Marine Service. We offer all types of boat repair, fiberglass work, bottom painting, detailing, buffing. If your gel coat's looking dull, we can get that boat looking good for you again. We also offer a pickup and delivery service, and we have trailers that you can use if we are going to work on your boat, and we can come and get your boat for you. We can be reached at 850-960-9054, or you can reach us on the web at profiberglassmarine.com.
Bill Kramer's Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC is Panama City's exclusive full-line dealership. Built on a 45-year foundation of trust and total customer satisfaction in all departments, including our huge pre-owned department, where we'll pay top dollar for your current automobile as a trade-in, or we'll place your vehicle on our lot and help you sell it. At Bill Kramer Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. 4 decades, 3 generations, 1 tradition.
Your vision is precious. If an emergency arises, you don't want to be sitting in a hospital waiting room. Accidents and injuries can happen outside of your workday. That's why our team of physicians provide emergency eye care to our patients anytime, day or night. You can count on your local experts in eye care to be there for you whenever you need us. The Eye Center of North Florida.
9 doctors, 1 vision, yours.
When you're looking for sales, parts, and service for your outboard, all in one location, you're looking for BJ's Marine. You're authorized Tohatsu and Nissan dealer. BJ's Marine does it all. They have outboard parts and a service center and used motor sales too. Tohatsu, reliable, dependable, fuel efficient, and lightweight. Tohatsu Outboards, technology for the next generation. BJ's Marine, 1317 Transmitter Road since 1991.
Welcome back. We're coming to you live from downtown Panama City, Fox 28 Studios. I appreciate you watching so much. I'm going to finish up on the Melissa Pope story. I started yesterday and ran out of time. Melissa Pope was a student of mine about five years ago. She's working in the community now, but I know she don't mind me telling this story on her because it happened. It's a true story. Happened in my class. We're taking a boating safety unit. First of all, we spend a week on it. Then the kids take the test. You see the test here. You fill it out. You fill out your name and address and on one side here, and then you bubble in the right answer. I know all of y'all have done this kind of stuff and all. Then I collect all of them, send them to Tallahassee. FWC grades them, and send them back to the kids a boating safety card. Melissa, a blonde-haired girl in my class, and sort of outgoing, real outgoing, talked a lot, and everybody loved Melissa in class, and she was just a lot of fun. And so what happened? I take all the tests. And I tell the kids be careful filling out everything, and it's an open book test, and they all take the test. So we take the test, send them to Tallahassee. And at that time, the FWC would mail the cards back to the individual's home because it had an address on there. Right after that, I called them up and told them to just mail me one big envelope, and I would pass them out in class. And what we do now, we pass them out in class to each student. In fact, we played the song Pomp and Circumstance, have a little graduation. I shake their hands and all. We have a great time doing it. But at this time, they would send them to the home, and I tell the kids, now you've got to bring that card to me so I can check it off in the grade book to make sure that you passed it and all. And it was a big deal to them, believe it or not. So they're coming in on that. They got them on that weekend, about 2 or 3 weeks later, and they bring them in the door, and they're coming in the back door waving. I have a double-wide portable out there in my classroom, and they're waving the card. Coach, I got it. They were all excited about it, and they're all just streaming in. I got it, bringing it up there. I'm checking them off. Just as tardy bell rings, Melissa Pope comes in with her blonde hair been blowing in the wind, and she opened the door, and she sort of held it up, and then she sort of pulled it back down. Everybody turned around and looked at her. I said, Melissa, you get your card? And her face started getting red. You can imagine a blonde-haired girl, her face started getting red. Coach, I got it, but they did it wrong. She was about to cry, not literally, but she was just real, everybody just stopped. And look, Melissa, I said, what is the matter? Coach, you're not going to believe it. And she started, I said, well, bring it up here. Let me see your card. Coach, they did it wrong. And she brought it up to me, and she handed it to me. And I looked at it, and I just busted out laughing. And I read it to the class. Here it is. This says, Melissa Dope. Take a look at this, folks. They put Melissa Dope. She had filled it out wrong. Instead of Melissa Pope, they put Melissa Dope. And the class, the class just went crazy laughing. They were laughing with her, and she started laughing then. It became the joke of the year. And Melissa actually did her outdoor ed project on a boat paddle, put the card. I called FWC up, and we got it corrected. They sent her the correct card, and she left me this card in class as a memento to her. And on the back, she's got on her name, it says Melissa Pope, also known as Melissa Dope. But Melissa now working in the community. I won't tell you where she's working, but she's on Facebook with me, and I got a notice the other day. She's expecting her first baby in 7 days. So that's the Melissa Pope story, and I tell this story to my class every year when they're filling out these forms. And I said, fill out these forms, take your time, be careful, don't be a dope, fill it out right, and I tell them a story, we get a big kick out of it. So that's the Melissa Pope story, and so be careful doing that kind of stuff. And all my stories are true, and I have a lot of them. Okay, next, moving on some things going on. I just got this notice from Jeff Bodorf. Now, this is, go and mark your calendar. This is a big deal to me and big deal to our community. The Elizabeth Bodorf Redfish Memorial Tournament, it'll be in October. This is 4th annual tournament they're having. And I know, you know the background. Elizabeth was a young girl that drowned in the backyard pool, and her parents have really taken this negative and made a big positive out of it. And it is a big deal. We really promote it here on the show. I try to have Jeff come in talking about it. And this money they raise from this tournament, they will give it to the American Red Cross in a Learn to Swim program. And you know what a great cause. And here's the notice: it's a redfish tournament, October 15th. It's from 6 a.m. to 3 a.m. It's going to be at Porter Park at the foot of Bailey Bridge. And it'll be registration. You can go to the Red Cross, or you can go online and get it. Or you can go to the Dam Bait and Tackle, and they have a registration form up there at Deer Point Dam. So anything you can do to promote that cause, certainly do it. And we're looking forward to it. It'll be a lot of fun. They have all kind of neat prizes. People, they'll be drawing your names. There'll be some raffle tickets you can do. So even if you don't fish the tournament, you can go up there. And I'll be talking more about it. But go ahead and put it on your calendar now. Okay? I got an email last night also about, I showed a floundering video yesterday. The email was, what do you do about floundering lights? So I'm going to spend some time this weekend. We're going over, and I'm going to come in next week and show you some different floundering lights. Most of them are unique, and I bring mine in. It's amazing. It's sort of, they all work is the bottom line, but they're all kind of different contraptions. So we'll be talking about some floundering lights next week and answering an email from Michael Hatcher. Okay? Let's take our next break, and we'll be right back.
Captain's Cove Marina, designed with fishermen in mind. Easy access to the best fishing along Florida's Forgotten Coast. Deep sea fishing, fly fishing from a kayak, cruising endless miles of bayous, bays, and the intercoastal waterway. Count on the captain's crew to work hard to make your day on the water the best ever. Captain's Cove Marina, 1617 Grouper Avenue, Port St. Joe, 850-227-3357.
Sunset Coastal Grill, located in the heart of beautiful Port St. Joe, was established in 2002 by Patty and Dewey Blaylock as a family-owned coastal restaurant. In Port St. Joe, we meet at Sunset. Sunset's open for lunch and dinner every day of the week. Fresh seafood's brought in daily and served in a variety of traditional and creative ways. Try our award-winning gumbos. Steaks are grilled simple and perfect over an open flame grill. Our homemade soups, sauces, and salad dressings are so popular, we sell them retail. And don't forget, see the sunset at Sunset.
Come on down to Blue Water Outrigger, where you'll always find friendly service, fresh and saltwater fishing rods, top of the line men's and women's apparel. Don't forget to pick up your live baits and let us help you with all your outdoor needs. Check out our wide selection of top quality reels and hunting necessities and everything in between. Come see us or order online. We'll be waiting for you right next door to Piggly Wiggly, Port St. Joe.
Harold Milling Company, rough and tough dog food. Harold Milling Company builds it. They build hog feed. They build dairy feed. They make chicken feed. They have specialty feeds for rabbits. If you got a worm farm, grandmother used to have a worm farm. Look at the Harold Milling Company. You want to go down and get you, the dog's not running anymore. That's all over with. You want to get that 16% and drop down from the 26% protein. You don't want old Rover to get fat. Harold Milling Company, you can buy it almost any feed store in the Panama City area.
Okay, welcome back. I got a lot more stuff to talk about. Let's start on this little sad note here. This is an email last night from a high school friend of mine. I went to school with Byron Spires, and Byron sent me this email. Byron still lives in Quincy, and Quincy is only about 20-25 miles from Bainbridge and Lake Seminole. And Lake Seminole, when you say Lake Seminole, you think about Jack Wingate. And he sent me this email last night. He said, our friend Jack Wingate is not doing well. Visited with him today and was able to have a short conversation. He is very sick with cancer, and they're making him as comfortable as possible. As we all know, Jack is a living legend among fishermen and one of the best fellows I've known. He's certainly helped me through some tough times in my life. I always be proud that he is one of my friends. Please pray for him and his family as they deal with this time. And Jack Wingate is synonymous with Lake Seminole. So keep he and his family in your prayers, okay? I want to show, let's talk about this kids tournament over in Chipley. It's going to be this week, talking about tomorrow now. Kids Fishing Day, Saturday, September 10, Chipley, 8 to 12. The Orange Hill Soil and Water Conservation District. Just go through Chipley. They're going to have signs up. It's going all the way to on 273 off of Highway 77 there. You can find it right there north of town. And there'll be a pond there. There'll be some nice fish caught. And I can't make it there. I have an out-of-town funeral, but John McMurray will be representing Panhandle Outdoors. He'll be clicking some pictures. If you get a chance to see John McMurray on the Panhandle Outdoors team, tell him you want your picture taken. You want it shown on Panhandle Outdoors with a big fish. So take advantage of that. Here's a nice, speaking of pictures, Mitch Coleman is really good about sending pictures from down to Mexico Beach. Here's a nice catch here, okay? This is Ricky Collins, Chuck Young, and Todd Krause with the dinner for the night. Some nice little dolphin there. Really, that's really good eating there. Caught this week out of Mexico Beach. Thank you, Mitch, for that report. Also, let's go ahead and start setting your October calendar. We're going to start talking about it next week about your October calendar. You know, that's the month we talk about. We're going to talk about when the full moon of October is, when the tides are going to be coming in, and go ahead and mark down those fishing dates. And also, even if you got to take some time off work to fish some of those peak periods, I certainly would recommend it. I mean, even if you got to skip school, okay? I'm not telling you kids to do that now, but I know on squirrel season, Weewall, when it opens up, that's a big deal. I'm going to show you a picture. This is a picture of the biggest gator I have ever seen. Now, it is coming in. I'm going to talk about it before we show it, Jeff. Scott Lindsay called me last night and said, did I get this email? And he sent it to me, a friend of his out of Alabama. Alabama just opening up. Florida's been doing gator hunts for a long time. Alabama just opening up their gator hunts in certain areas, and they did this on the Alabama River. And David Rainier, the outdoor writer for the Alabama Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, sent this, and they opened up hunting over on the Alabama River in the western, southwestern area of Alabama, and this past a week, and they brought in some monster gators, okay? And I got two pictures of this gator. Check out, this is just a gator head right here, folks. This gator, can you believe this? This is not Photoshop and anything. This is real. This has really happened. This gator here. This gator was 14 foot 2 inches and weighed 838 pounds. Taken by Keith Fancher out of Shelby, Alabama. And here's a picture of the body right here. They had to winch it up. They actually could not hold this gator. I mean, of course, men couldn't lift it and everything. They had to put it on a winch, lift it up on a winch. Can you? That is one monster gator. Now, if that's not impressive enough, this article, look at that. This is one of those stories that you're going to be calling people. Did you watch Panhandle Outdoors this morning and see that picture of that gator? Here are the other sizes. This one is, okay, they got about 12 gators out of this one area. And this area never been hunted before, and that's what happened. All right, here's the sizes. That was 14 foot, 2 inches, 838 pounds. All right, here's the other sizes. 12 foot 4, 720 pounds. 12 foot 9, 661 pounds. 13 foot 1, 604 pounds. 12 foot 2 inches, 625 pounds. 12 feet, 13 inches, 12 feet 11 inches, 607 pounds. 12 4, 578. 13 foot 4 inches, 528. 12 foot 6 inches. It goes on and on. All these are 12 footers. There's some 11 footers here right at 500 pounds. That was amazing. Scott, thanks for sending that to me. And it talks about, it interviews some of the people, and they think they had all kind of applications. They think the big deal now, because some of the people are swamp people on the History Channel. Everybody want to go gator hunting. There's just a huge interest over in Alabama. And they only had like 50 permits, and they had like 2,700 applicants for that. That's amazing. I'm going to show that in my class today. That's really interesting, okay? Let's go ahead, and I've got several more things. I was going to talk about chumming, but I'm not going to have time to get to it. And I also want to go ahead and get the Tarpon Dock seafood drawing in while we can, because then I want to get into the fishing report. So let's go ahead. And Maria Abrams is supposed to be here this morning. I'm going to get on to her. I think she's sleeping in. We're going to go ahead and do the drawing. Now we have three prizes brought to us by Tarpon Dock Seafood right down there on Beach Drive. And I'll tell you, they have some great fresh seafood down there. So here's the first one we're going to be drawing for. We're going to be these 4 tuna steaks. Remember yesterday we talked about these prizes. First one will be 4 tuna steaks. In the winter, we're looking at Carla Roop, R-O-U-P-P, out of Panama City. Okay, Carla. Okay, next one's going to be 3 pounds of medium shrimp. 3 pounds of medium shrimp. Josh Anderson. No Josh. Josh Anderson. Congratulations. Eat that shrimp this weekend, watching some ball games. And this winter now, this is going to be the 1 bottle of Voodoo Juice. Really good stuff right here, Voodoo Juice. And the winner here is Donnie Owens. Donnie Owens up there in Lynn Haven. All right, for Panama City and Lynn Haven. That takes care. I want to thank Tarpon Dock Seafood for those 3 items. When you win it, if you could, just give me a call, or call them down there, tell them when you come. I know some folks can't come in right on Friday, but you can pick it up on Saturday. I even had some pick it up on Monday, but call them, let them know you won, so they'll be expecting you. Okay. All right, we're going to take our final break and come back with our famous Friday fishing forecast.
The greatest investment we can all make is in the lives of our children and grandchildren.
To help you invest for retirement, handle your IRA rollover, protect your family with life or long-term care insurance, call my dad for an appointment at his new office on Wilson Avenue behind Lowe's. And he'll give you a copy of his most recent book, 7 Steps to Serious Money. For free! Walter Woodrick, your serious money advisor!
My name's Captain Rick Corley. I'm a SAMS accredited Marine Surveyor, NAM certified Marine Surveyor, and IAME certified Marine Investigator. Been surveying since 1969. Was taught by my father, who is the oldest, longest practicing Marine Surveyor in the world. We do all types of survey, commercial or pleasure. Steel, aluminum, fiberglass, wood, makes no difference. Give us a call at 850-527-5287 or visit us online. We'd appreciate your business.
When it comes to the shooting sports, the headquarters for this area for over 57 years has been C&G Sporting Goods. When you need firearms for hunting, target shooting, self-protection, home protection, or if you're a gun collector, C&G's friendly, knowledgeable sales staff is ready to help you make the right selection. C&G buys, sells, and trades guns. C&G will buy one gun or a collection. Look over this area's largest selection of quality firearms. C&G Sporting Goods, home of the experts.
It's Kubota Summertime Deal Days at Soul Tractor, and that means Kubota finance offers are heating up. Right now, we have long-term finance rates as low as 0% APR available for qualified buyers. We have the deals you've been waiting for on the quality new Kubota zero-turn mowers. Come take a look at our new Kubota gas or diesel zero-turn mowers today while the sun shines.
Hurry to Soul Tractor's Kubota Summertime Deal Days and get your best deal on a new Kubota today while the sun shines.
Well, we're glad you're with us this morning. Let's start it with our Express Lane Fishing Game Forecast at peak periods for today. Now, we're looking at some good times. We're looking at 10:37 a.m. to 12:37, and tonight from basically 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, all around midnight. I know you're watching that moon is waxing up and looking really good, and it's going to be full next Tuesday night. And then we'll have that October full moon coming up around, I think, I'm just guessing, around October 11th. It's going to be the 13th this time. Real quick now, don't forget that Poor Man's Tournament this weekend in Grand Lagoon over there at Old Lighthouse Marine right there, the Poor Man's Shootout. It's changing this weekend. Okay, $400 interest fee, and all that money goes back to the fishermen. All right, now, our famous Friday fishing forecast brought to us by Tarpon Dock. I know I'm not going to get through all of it, but we're going to start, as always, over in South Walton. Bruce Mixon sent this report in last night. The storm did slow things down, but like everywhere else, everybody Saturday morning caught some fish over there in Choctawhatchee Bay right before the storm came in. Some reds and specks were caught on the east end of the bay, and the head of Jolly Bay was really good this week after it calmed down. Redfish are up in Jolly Bay. The specks were outside the river mouth, and the flounder now I've seen them moving around the area. They're catching some flounder, according to Bruce over there, and some nice keeper flounder right between the mouth of Choctawhatchee River and the Intercoastal Waterway. A good little stretch right there, okay? That's a big deal there. Now, Mexico Beach, Mitch Coleman just sent a good report in along with that picture. The water cooled down over Mexico Beach down to 83, and the lower night temperatures has an effect on it too. Water has been rough still early part of the week, but cobia, they're still catching some cobia. They're holding around the structure. They brought in 2 over 60 pounds this week with using live bait. And the first run of the fall run of the Kings is showing up over there. That's great news. And usually that fall run now means bigger Kings, okay? They're catching them on frozen bait with dusters. The amberjacks are really good. The large amberjacks over structures, also on live bait and jigs. Jig fishing for amberjack is fun. And the mahi have been doing, as you saw in that picture shortly, the mahi have been doing really good. Okay, over in St. Joe Bay, flounder fishing was excellent this week up in, according to Blair Morgan. Talked to some guys who went up in the intercoastal waterway and fished around the T and caught some nice flounder. They were able to get out of that weather. I always remember that's a good place to go when it's blowing and everything. Like we had this past weekend, you always think of some sheltered areas to go. That is a really good one. On the lee side of the wind, you can really get in some good fishing over there. Tarpon is still around, and the water temperature in St. Joe Bay has warmed up a little bit the last 2 days, he said. Now, Panama City, the big deal here in Panama City, the storm Saturday morning was really good fishing in West Bay and over in East Bay. I talked to 2 or 3 guys, and Scott had an article on it yesterday. Some really nice fish were being caught before the storm came in. Remember that windy weather really sort of churns things up and gets things going. Kobe was really nice. Let me go back to St. Joe Bay. There's people did go scalloping Saturday and Sunday. I talked to one yesterday, and they got a limit of scallop. They said he almost froze to death when he got out of the water. So scalloping should be good this weekend over there. Now, the big news on the storm, what it did at Panama City Beach, remember all the grass we had the past couple of weeks? It's been miserable out there trying to swim and all the grass. That storm has washed it all away. The reports I've gotten, the beaches are clear and the water's clearing up. It's just beautiful. So that's some really good news, too. Dock fishing up in North Bay, fishing around docks for redfish was good this week. I had a couple of guys tell me that. And also the flounder has started moving. So things are looking up. This is September is really strong fishing, so take advantage of it. I'm running out of time. I want to thank you all for watching the show this week. We come to you live every morning and try to bring you the best we can. So today, you do something good for somebody. This weekend, you get outdoors. God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.